During the 1920s, the United States would experience incredible highs, but also devastating lows. The economy would boom to unprecedented levels, and for a time the nation would seem invincible. But by the end of the decade, that era of prosperity would come to a crashing halt. The decade would also witness the end of the progressive era, as the spirit of change gave way to more conservative values on a variety of issues. When we picture the 1920s in the popular imagination, what images come to mind? Perhaps scenes from The Great Gatsby, with wealthy couples dancing the night away or speeding around in their automobiles? In reality, the automotive industry was central to the decade's economic growth. Not only automobile manufacturers, but also the collateral industries involved in automotive construction. Glass, steel, rubber, these grew rapidly. Systems of paved roads and highways were also expanded to accommodate the newly mobile population, leading to the building of a wave of suburbs. The construction industry would grow as well. Small appliances also contributed to the era's stunning economic growth. With expanded access to electricity, more American homes would use washing machines and electric dryers, lighting, and radios. Radio brought live media broadcasts into people's homes, and once folks heard it, they couldn't get enough. Radio sales skyrocketed by the mid-1920s, fueling the spread of jazz music from the streets of New Orleans and the clubs of Harlem throughout the country. Amidst this exciting economic growth, the nation also faced serious debates over difficult issues. One of the best remembered of those debates centered around the teaching of evolution in high school biology classes. Tennessee had passed a state law banning the teaching of the theory of evolution in schools. A young teacher decided to test the law by challenging it in court. The famous case hinged not on whether or not he had taught evolution in the class. He admitted outright that he had. Instead, the case spiraled out to questions of the basis of the law. In the end, the case would sputter out on technicalities, being appealed but coming to no meaningful resolution. Rather than bringing the charges again, the state simply dropped them, weary of the negative publicity the region was receiving as a result of the proceedings. This cartoon shows the town where the trial was held, Dayton, Tennessee, before and after the trial. First, a forgotten rural spot, and then the center of media attention. The 1920s saw not just fundamentalist Christianity, but also other conservative political positions expand in popularity as well. Immigrants had been central to the development of the country. From the nation's founding, the United States had welcomed immigrants to pursue a better life within the expanded opportunities the country had to offer. But during and after World War I, many Americans had become suspicious of communists, anarchists, and other radical groups. That hostility continued into the 1920s. The era's popular theories of racial hierarchy and social Darwinism compounded the situation for immigrants. While mid-19th century immigrants to the United States had hailed from Northern and Western Europe, those arriving in the late 19th and early 20th century came from Southern and Eastern Europe. Many Americans began to resent the presence of immigrants and pressed for immigration reform. By 1926, the National Origins Act would severely limit immigration to record lows. The rates would stay there until the mid-1960s. Even more extreme views were held by some Americans, however. The Ku Klux Klan, the white supremacist group originally founded in the South right after the Civil War, had been revived in the 1910s. This time it would expand its influence throughout the country. The new Klan also targeted not only African Americans, but Catholic and Jewish immigrants. Here we see the Klan parading in force in Washington, D.C. in 1926. The Klan was a violent hate group carrying out lynchings and other atrocities. It was also a political group supporting candidates for local and state office in many areas of the South and Midwest. The remarkable growth of the American economy during the 1920s had stemmed in part from activity on Wall Street, shown here in this 1912 photograph. More and more Americans were investing in the stock market, often doing so with money they did not actually possess. Brokerage firms allowed individuals to buy stocks with just a 10% down payment. This helped the market to continue growing, and stock prices skyrocketed. Those investors were placing themselves in risky positions, however, and the company's stocks were becoming overvalued. When the stock market would crash in October of 1929, it would destroy the economic growth that had been achieved over the previous decade. Indeed, the first day of the crash saw the entire growth of the past year gone in a single day. The nation's economy would crumble into ruin, and it would not recover until America's involvement in World War II, 10 years later. In the intervening years, the 1930s would largely be a decade of poverty and suffering.